Hello and welcome to Gaming Cypher. I'm Stephen Reyes, and today we will be taking a look at a prototype of the V2 center cam. So I want to make a note that their packaging isn't finalized. This is just for the prototype sending, so they will have nicer packaging later on, and they're still working on the clip, which is inside, but we get to test this out and see essentially how it's going to overall perform. So let's go ahead and jump right on in and see what we have here. All right. So we have the clip, pretty straightforward. We also have an adapter, so the USB 2 that the camera runs off of can actually plug into a USB-C. So that's useful for most devices these days. And we have the camera itself. As you can see, it is very flexible, long, nice cable, small camera. And so the main point of this is to primarily help so you can make better eye contact. Like right now, you can see I'm trying to look at you guys, but you can tell I'm looking slightly off camera. So we're going to see if this can help improve that. And this will just go right in the center of your screen. I'll get a better angle of this. So the comparison I'm going to be using is comparing the center cam to my current setup with my my iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is currently shooting in 4K, and this shoots in HD 1080p. So I highly expect a quality difference in the visual, but considering how small this camera is, I'm going to be pretty forgiving in regards to quality versus my camera versus this one. I want to see more how this performs with eye contact and flexibility. As you can see, this could be very useful on the go. So I think that's going to be a huge benefit for anybody who is doing on the go interviews or just even work calls. If you're not even a streamer, that can help make better eye contact, and it keeps out of the way. It's not distracting. You're not having to worry about looking up and down and a huge setup like I have to have on my desk. So I highly anticipate this is going to be very beneficial. So let's go ahead and plug it in and see what we're working with. So, and we're back. As you can see, I'm still using my iPhone for the moment. This white thing protruding on the frame is the camera. So there's two reasons why I haven't used the clip, and none of it is the issue of the product or the company. That one, I have an ultra wide screen that has like a rounded back, so it's not a flat screen. So when I try to clip this, it just pops off, which for most monitors, most people aren't going to have that kind of monitor on their desk. So this would work. That is something that they can consider as maybe another way of clipping or adjusting for the ultra wide screens with the rounded back. But overall, I'm going to say universally, this is pretty damn good. That the adapter for the clip, the previous person who had used this prototype wasn't exactly gentle. So those weren't available to use because one of them popped, but that was used from somebody else. I checked everything, and the clip and the adapters to hold everything in place seems like it would work perfectly. So, but let's go ahead and switch to the camera. All right, and we are back. So right now I'm still using my personal audio. This camera actually does have a built-in mono device that you can utilize for audio, which I will do in the next section to test that audio, but I wanted to make sure everything I was saying here came through clearly. So this is the difference between my previous footage and this one. So as you can see that the camera does help you make eye contact if you're looking straight into it, which I have a hard time looking straight into lenses personally. So that's why I'm kind of off center. But yeah, no, that quality wise, compared to the shooting in 4K on an iPhone, you can tell the difference. But if you're on the go and looking for flexibility, not having to have a huge setup on your desk or just being able to use this and make eye contact, I think it is a good, small, useful, portable camera that can be utilized. That you have to make the decision for yourself whether the quality of the image or the flexibility of the camera and the space that you're working with, what is a bigger priority for you. But quality wise, pretty good considering, and you saw how small that camera was, that it is small and useful. So I would say I'm going to test the audio next on the camera itself. I know most people who are either taking a work call have headphones, AirPods, or if streamers will have their own setup that they're going to be utilizing. So I'm not too concerned with the mono portion of the audio, but I am curious to see how it performs. But overall, I'm thinking this is pretty good. And one other thing that I want to say that's a huge benefit is I mentioned I'm using an iPhone normally for my video stuff, but most people may not have Apple devices that they're utilizing. So this will plug in, as I almost touch it, plug into Mac or PC. So that is a huge benefit. There's no limitation on what device you can utilize it on. Overall, I went back and listened to the audio from this, which is a mono microphone. So you're going to pick up some background noise, but for portability and a small workspace, you don't have to have a huge rig. That actually is pretty good that you have the camera and the microphone built in to this tiny little thing, which is very durable. You can bend it around, hang it. I have an ultra wide screen, as I mentioned, so I couldn't clip onto the back because of the way that the monitor is. But look at this thing. I'm holding it up and it's staying. And it does adjust direction, so you don't have to hang it from your computer. You could have it like this and it'll correct the orientation, which is an ingenious thing that they made sure to think about. So overall, I'm going to give this like a 8 out of 10 that I personally like higher video quality, but considering how small this thing is, that is not a criticism. That's getting 1080p HD on something this size is good. And in regards to it, I would recommend it that for me, I'll probably get one of these to put in my rig for on the go stuff. And I'm sure with how well they're doing, and this is version 2, at some point they'll break the code to get 4K on something this small. And at that point, I can just say bye bye to the iPhone and just stick with something like this that I can easily move around, bend, use, and it's just great. So thank you for watching and keep an eye out for the center cam version 2 coming out soon.